The 2013 sudden death first semi-final was between Swan Districts and East Perth at Steel Blue Oval. Both teams have been playing on a knife's edge over the past few weeks and only cemented a final spot last week. Having secured their berth, neither of these physical teams was going to take a sideways step, with a chance of further glory to come.
The crowd has been loud. They've been right behind their team as they've seen the Swans into the finals. After the tap, Hildebrandt chases it, can't get there first. Swan did well, gave it on to Payne, hurried kick towards full forward. Lysett gathers, Lysett spins, Lysett snaps and Lysett goals.
Robinson with a bit of speed, kicks the ball up toward full forward. Bokhorst is there in front, couldn't complete the mark. Great recovery, score coming up as he kicks it low and hard into the goal square, and Garland gets the first for Swan Districts. Lee, he gets a hand pass up to Payne. Ahead of a tackle from Riggio, gets it up high to Smith, couldn't take the mark. Chance now for Arthur Burnell, across his body and he's goal. Oh, he put a beautiful boomerang on that. Lob to Faulkner, to the feet of Riggio, needed it a bit higher. Alari burrows in and gets it out to Hildebrandt. Quick hand pass to Roach, then to Hams, and it's blanketed. A royal surge. Morton gives it off to Wolf, hand pass then to Clutterbuck. Off now to Burnell, to the running Cripps, who kicks from 50. Another one to the Royals. Gathering it though, Roach gives it off to Robinson, so he tries to get it up to centre half forward. On the lead, Ugle, that's good footy by Swan Districts. They want to keep the momentum. Ugle plays on, kicks long on goal. Goal square is vacant, that's gone through. What a great goal by Ugle.
Gets the kick towards half forward. Spoil came at the back. Well done by Oakley Nichols, and a good tackle. Ugle involved once more. They'll take the advantage, Swans. Hildebrandt just chips towards Embley. Embley can kick, and he can kick his third. Swans straight back down the corridor again. Alari gets the hand pass onto Roach. Shows some pace once more. Heads towards Embley, who marks. He's still going, Embley. This would be some goal for Swans. What a ripper!
We came here hoping for a wonderful contest. We've got that and a bit more. Not up high, growing in confidence. Slots it down to Bokhorst. He gives it to the runner Faulkner. He's inside 50. He kicks on goal. They've got another one.
Terrific crowd in attendance. Not won the tap. Riggio just got it off his boot. Only as far as Clutterbuck. Kicks high up towards full forward. Front position was Smith. Tapped it down. Emerging with it. Something the dummy was Hams. And then hand pass and turns it straight over to Cripps. Oh, that hurts. That hurts. East Perth lead by 8 points. It's back into play. Lysett at the back. Won it down. Selwood got the hand pass away. This is to Lee. Running his sweet. Receives it. Runs to 50. Sweet heads to goal. It's through. It's sweet all right for East Perth.
Bringing the ball back into play was Morton, I think. Kicks it to a contest. It's going to come straight back. Embley got it to Hildebrandt. Hildebrandt, a little sidestep, lines them up, and the veteran kicks an important goal. Embley, I don't know if he's going to have a shot here. He won't see daylight.
This is a tough kick. Really tough.
Left foot. Embley kicks his fifth. Oh, the game's got everything.
To the outer side. Battle on there. Ball at the back. Wolf got collected.
Oh, good take.
It was. Cripps just picked it up. He runs to 50. Sends it towards goal. He's kicked it. He's got his third. Sweet got it away. Oakley Nichols shows some pace. He's racing away down the outer wing. A couple of bounces, then he'll put it inside the forward 50. It's over the head of Lysett. He'll get to it first. Lysett gathers. He can run in, steps around, aims, and boots it through. He's got three. Inside the attacking 50 again. He'll come back to Cripps. His kick was smothered. More through good luck than anything else. Cripps will get another opportunity. He'll snap on goal. That'll just about do it. Cripps gets his fourth.
And it was actually Jamie Cripps for the Royals who was the leading goal scorer on the ground with Andrew Embley, but Cripps 5 goals in a winning team. Lysett kicked 4, Swan 2, and for Swan Districts, Andrew Embley 5 goals, Dale Garlett kicked 2, and Kirk Ugle 2 as well. Let's go to the Swan District's chief possession getters. Roach, 26 possessions, 22 to Toomey. Faulkner had 23, Riggio 21, Embley 5 goals straight from 14 possessions and 6 marks, Tony Knott 6 marks and 17 possessions, Ryan Davis 20 possessions and Graham Jetta had 17. East Perth were well served by Adam Selwood all day, 8 marks. He had 22 kicks and 10 handballs. Morton 25 possessions, 23 to Payne. The leader, Lee, had 28 possessions. Cripps 5 goals straight from 21 possessions. Clutterbuck had 21, 20 to Oakley Nichols, and Paul Johnson, terrific in the ruck, 20 possessions and 6 marks. And so the Royals prevailed in the end. They overran Swan Districts in terms of kicks, not so much handballs, but they really dominated the inside 50, 64 to Swan's 37, and the centre breaks 21 to 16. That really was telling in the final analysis. The quarter by quarters, it was really Swan Districts who tried very hard, but East Perth got out of the blocks better. They led by 9 points at quarter time. Swan Districts fought back brilliant in the second quarter. They took a 12-point lead into the half-time break, but a 25-point victory in the third quarter saw the Royals up by 13 points with a quarter to go. They were too strong. They ran out winners by 28 points in the final of the match. It was 18 goals, 14-22 to Swan Districts, 15-4, 94.
Thanks very much, guys. Adam, well, you've got a huge crowd here behind you. Congratulations. You get to play against next week. It looks like you're going to play Claremont. But today, mate, you really stepped it up in the last quarter. You guys were fantastic.
Yeah, it was great. You know, we started pretty well. Obviously, they got a run on in that second quarter, but, you know, the second half, last few weeks have been really putting the foot down and, you know, great to get a win.
Mate, we haven't got a lot of time, but you guys were great. We look forward to seeing you out there next week. You were fantastic. Well done.
Thanks, guys. Cheers. Thank you.
Congratulations, Brian, a fantastic win. Your boys really stood up for you in that last quarter.
Yeah, terrific in the last quarter. You know, we needed to be. You know, we hadn't done quite enough at that stage, and the game was in the balance, absolutely. So I thought their endeavour was magnificent the last quarter. They just refused to yield, so it was a great effort by our boys.
You stuck to your game plan. With the talls, obviously they sort of took a few grabs in that last quarter. It's obviously very hard to play that run and carry sort of game that they had, but I just thought the pressure that you guys just turned on in that last quarter really just made the difference.
Yeah, I think the pressure that the forwards exerted was fantastic in the last quarter. They just wouldn't let the ball out, and yeah, we managed to play the game in our half for most of the last quarter, which was, you know, great if you can do that any time. But yeah, the way they really rose to the occasion was great in the last quarter.
Smith obviously not the best game, but you had 10 other goal kickers, or 9 other goal kickers, I think, and there was a really even contribution throughout the whole team.
Yeah, I think there was. Look, you know, probably a couple of the better known ones probably had you know, down days a little bit, but they came to the party in the last quarter, and that's the main thing. And look, we said at three-quarter time that, you know, finals are a great test of character, and I think they really displayed great character in the last quarter and really stood up when it mattered and got the job done.
Now, you've probably heard the result. Claremont have been beaten, so you meet them next week.
Well, if we're going to get through, we've got to beat both of them, so it doesn't matter. So, you know, we really look forward to the challenge of next week. You know, you've got to move on pretty quickly. It all happens in a rush now, so we take the win. It's a great effort by our guys, and we'll move on quickly to next week.
Just a little bit on you, Brian, obviously back in the coaching role after a bit of time out. How does it feel to be back amongst it and playing finals footy again?
Oh, you know, any time you get into finals is great spin, and if you can come away with a win, it's even better. But yeah, you never lose that. You always enjoy that adrenaline rush if you can get it. So it was fantastic to have that feeling in the last quarter, particularly, that you know you're over the line, so you take that any day of the week.
No, it's fantastic to have you back, mate. We're certainly looking forward to next week. We wish you the best of luck.
Thanks, Rod. Thanks.
Claremont and West Perth fought out a classic second semi-final at Claremont Oval. And who would have thought it? The Falcons coming from behind, but in a seesawing match, got over the top of Claremont at the end. 11 goals, 21. The Falcons, 87, have clawed their way into a grand final, defeating the Tigers, 12 goals, 11, 83. The margin, just 4 points in favour of West Perth. It was a very low-scoring affair at Tigerland. Having finished minor premiership favourites, the Tigers were at home. Unfortunately, an early slip-up allowed the Falcons to get an early goal. Hitting the scoreboard first, it gave them some momentum, but the Tigers, of course, being favourites for the match, were able to get a couple on the board early in the piece. Chad Jones stalking Jason Salisic there. There was a turnover, and on the end of it, Mark Seeby chips a hand pass off to Ian Richardson, who runs into an open goal. And through the agency of that quick goal, the Tigers were able to steady, and they actually led 3-3 to 1-6 at quarter time. They continued to try hard through the second quarter and seemed to be well and truly in control of this match. Medhurst hand passing over the top, and a good goal there to young Jack Bradshaw. And they were able to lead by 3 goals at the long break. But West Perth never far out of it. Even though their form in recent weeks has not been particularly good, they had great confidence in themselves, brilliantly coached by Bill Monaghan. A good snap there by Matt Fowler, and another one to that man there, young Mark Crisp, who combined with his forwards brilliantly all day. That time hand passing over the top of Mark Hutchings, who was a big possession getter throughout the course of the afternoon, kept West Perth not only in it, but really threatening the Tigers. Ian Richardson's had a great year in front of goals, and so too this man, Mark Seeby, one of the favourites for the Sandover medal, really stamped his mark on this match, kicking a goal, and it was anyone's match. At three-quarter time, still it was the Tigers 10 goals, 10 to 19-15, but it was always going to go to the wire. And West Perth played some of their best football for the season. Mellington on target, and a real slip up there by Nicky Winmar, turning the ball over. And the Falcons, to the elation of their supporters, were able to get up in an absolute thriller. Matt Davies under the weight of the tackle there. Ian Richardson again, and his skill helped keep Claremont in it. But even though they were in front at three-quarter time, it was a nail-biter, and then finally a goal with just 3 seconds to go, and West Perth got home against the odds. They have fought their way into the 2013 Grand Final. A very, very jubilant group of Falcons players and supporters at Claremont Oval. And so there it was, the first semi-final. It was the Royals 18 goals, 14, 122, defeating Swan Districts 15-4, 94. And West Perth overcame the premiership favourites at Claremont Oval in the second semi-final. 11 goals, 21, 87, defeating the Tigers 12-11, 83. So next week, we head to a preliminary final at Claremont Oval. It's the Tigers versus the Royals. We'll be live on air from 2 p.m.